What can you tell us about that night in Puerto Rico when Brody was murdered?
Well, the first thing that I can tell you is that they left Brody at the hotel, the HANNIBAL Hotel, and I came out the building and I saw Dutch Mantel and Brody sitting on the steps. So I said, Brody, what's going on? He said, oh, I'm waiting on Jose. He's supposed to pick me up. And I said, well, I'm going there now. If you want to, you can ride me. And my buddy from the owner of the gym, he's going to take me to the building, because I told him if he go with me, he don't have to pay to get in. So he came up. He had his wife with me. He said, do you mind if my wife go? Can you get my wife in too? I said, yeah, I'll get your wife in. So I told Brody, come on. So me and Dutch Mantel, we got in the back of the guy's car. The guy's wife slid over in the center, and Brody sat in the front seat. We got to the building. Jose got up. He walked out of the building, and I pulled out my art pad. I was drawing a picture of Mark and Jay Youngblood. And Brody said, "Oh man, I didn't know you could do that." He said, "That's good artwork." And he said, "Can you do one of my son?" And I said, "Yeah, if you got a picture." I said, "We got a week here." I said, "I can have it done before you leave." He said, "Oh, that'd be great if you could do that." He said, "Well, how much I owe you?" I said, "You don't owe me nothing, brother." And so just when he said that, Jose come up behind Brody with a towel over his hand. He said, "Brody, could I talk to you, por favor?" which means please. Brody turned around. He still had his bag in his hand. Turned around and stepped one foot in the shower, and then the other foot in the shower. As soon as the sucker foot hit the shower, I hear this sound. Just like that. So the second time he did it, he bent over. I looked up, and the first time he did it, I thought he got punched. I said, damn, Jose could hit hard. They fighting. So when I saw him bend over, Jose lift the knife in the air like that, and I saw the knife with the blood dripping off of it. So I jumped from my chair and grabbed Brody around the waist and yanked him back. The knife came down and cut Brody's ponytail off. That's how sharp the knife was. Carlos Colon shot by me as I was holding Brody up. Pushed Jose up against the wall. I said, "No, Jose, no, Jose." And Brody looked at me and said, "Brother, I'm hurt. I'm hurt. Don't let them hurt me anymore." He didn't say him. Don't let them hurt me anymore. So I laid him on the floor. I said, "Don't worry, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you." So then the ambulance, after 45 minutes, the ambulance came in. The reason the ambulance was so late getting there, because it was at the beginning of the show and all the people was coming in. So the ambulance was stuck in traffic and couldn't get there. So finally, about 45 minutes to an hour, they finally showed up.
So what was everyone else in the dressing room doing?
Getting dressed.
So no one, other than you, no one was trying to
do nothing. Getting dressed. That's what they were doing. Getting dressed. Then
Were you the only American in the dressing room?
No. We had I said I know Roberto Soto, he was there. The Youngblood was there. Dutch Mantel was there, and there was a couple more American wrestlers there. So the thing that got me about the Brody incident, the guy was an old lady, an old man, because they didn't sing young paramedics there because nothing ever happened, you know. We get the cuts on the head and they put a band-aid on it, you know, a couple of, that's all they did was put a little stuff on the head. So it was never no serious.
They're figuring wrestling.
Right. That's just show anyway. So they didn't sing real strong people there. They didn't know how serious the incident was. So anyway, the guy, they couldn't lift Brody. Because Brody was over 300 pounds, they couldn't lift him. So they came, with somebody help, said we can't lift him. So everybody, they turned it back. Turned it back. So I said, I help. So I got up, I put my arm in, I squatted all the way down, got underneath Brody. Brody said, "Don't drop me, brother." I said, "Don't worry." I said, "I curl more than you weigh." So he started smiling a little bit, so I pulled the thing up until it clicked. Then I pushed him on the ambulance. So then the guy said, "Well, if somebody want to go to the hospital with him, they can." Everybody in that dressing room, they turn around again. They turned it frickin' back. So I said, I go. So I got on the back of the ambulance, and then a little bird ran up and said, "Tony, what good you gonna do? You can't speak Spanish." So this one guy, they called him Hercules something, not Hayala, but So I saw him, and I was very strong there. So I grabbed by the belt with one arm, and I curled him up just like this. And I'm holding on to the ambulance to pull off and hold him. We go, let me go, let me go. Once we were out the thing, he goes, oh, Tony, please let me go. He said, I don't want to get involved in this. So I said, all you got to do is just repeat what I said. That's it. So he went with me, and every time I asked the doctor something, he told the doctor, and I told the doctor was a stab. One doctor spoke English, he said, he opened up the door. He said, Tony, stabbing in Puerto Rico is like a cold in America. He said, no big deal. I said, this one is. So he started to walk away. So I grabbed the doctor and put him on my shoulder. I took him in to see Brody. So he said, how you doing? Brody said, well, I'm just waiting for you to help me. So the doctor lift Brody's hand up and pool of blood. He go, oh, this is serious. We need to get him in right away. So as he was calling for the nurse, I took Brody's shoes off, and his feet was turning blue. I started crying. I was crying before, but I started crying again. The guy come out and say he had 2 8-inch cuts. One cut the liver, the other cut his intestine. The cut that cut his intestine, they fixed that. He said, that's fixed. He said, we're working on the liver part. He said, but your friend is stable. He's going to be okay. He said, but you have to leave because everybody's scared of you. Because I was punching huge. No, I was going nuts. I was going fucking nuts. Because after about an hour, I started hitting the wall, throwing chairs around. What the fuck is going on? I lost it.
They weren't taking him in?
No, they took him in.
But
the whole time I was there, from the moment of stabbing until I left, I lost it. I've never been that crazy a day in my life. And back in them days, let me see, at that time I was 307 pounds with a 650 bench. So, I mean, I was like, I had no shirt on. I was tearing up the place. And I was just so pissed off. I was just angry. I had all this anger in me. And there was nobody there to take it out on. So I started taking it out on the hospital walls and stuff. I punched holes in all the walls and everything. So I left with the other guy, called us a cab, went back to the place.
So when Brody went in the shower, he had his guard fully down?
Had no idea. He ain't even put his bag down. He had his wrestling bag. He used to carry this little pouch with his money and everything in. Yeah. And he was looking at me drawing. The last thing on his bag. Then he reached into his pouch to get a picture of his son. And he reached to hand the picture to me just like this. I reached to get the picture. Before I could do that, Jose said, can I talk to you? Brody turned. So I never got the picture. He was still holding the picture. He walked in the shower with the pouch in one hand, the picture of his son in his other hand. And when he went into the operation room, guess what he had in his hand?
The picture of his son. Now, where was Carlos and Victor Jovica during this?
They was there.
So Carlos and Victor were in the dressing room?
When I walked into the dressing room, Carlos, Jovica, and Jose was sitting in a football huddle. When we walked through the door, Jose got up and left.
What was Carlos's reaction to the stabbing?
He was mainly worried about me, calming me down. He said, come on, Tony, calm down. We don't need that. We don't need that. I said, you come over here, I'm going to knock your motherfucking head off your shoulder. Right. Carlos said, well, we don't need that. I said, Carlos, if you come over here, I'm going to knock your head off your shoulder. I mean what I said.
So they left the dressing room while he was...
When I came back to the dressing room, the blood had not dried on the floor yet. I hear laughing and joking and everybody bragging about their match. And how the heels, because they had a babyface dressing room, the heel dressing room, how the heels found out about it. I was in the ring with the Iron Sheik. And the Sheik said, brother, what happened to the Brody? You know how Sheik talk. And I said, Jose Gonzalez stabbed him. That motherfucking Jose Gonzalez of the Vader killed my fucking friend, stabbed my fucking friend, the bruiser of the Brody. Fuck him. Let's go home, brother. So I gave him a hit, but he falls out the ring, and we went back. That was the whole match. He asked me what happened. I told him. I hit, but he fell out the ring. We went back to the dressing room. Carlos said, that was short. And then Sheik went back to the dressing room and told all the other boys. And then later on today, Abdullah took a call for me.
Did the police come to the dressing room at all that night? Yeah.
So this cop came up to me. He said, "Tony, I've been waiting on you." He said, "What hospital did you go to?" I said, "I don't know the hospital." I said, "But they say he's gonna be okay." And then he said, "But did you get a look at the wrestling fan that did this?" I said, "No wrestling fan did it." He said, "Did you see it?" I said, "Yeah, I saw it." He said, "Who did it?" I said, "That motherfucker right there." He said, "You mean Vader?" I said, "Yes, him."
Oh, he was in the dressing room.
He was getting dressed.
Yeah.
Everybody was laughing and joking like nothing happened.
He wrestled that night.
He wrestled. Everybody. The show went on, brother. Nothing. Yeah. When I walked in, you wouldn't think anything happened. You would not think anything happened if you walked in that dressing room when I came back from the hospital. They was all laughing and joking, patting each other on the back, talking about how great a match they was having. There was no sadness, no nothing. It was happiness.
So the stabbing happened before the show started?
Yes.
Like 45 minutes, an hour before the show started?
Yeah, because we had to be at the show an hour before.
And then the shows are 3 hours usually,
Yeah.
sometimes longer
Yeah.
because the intermissions are
Right, because I was at the hospital for at least 2 hours.
Right.
And I came back and they said, "Oh, Tony, we're just getting ready to cancel your match." He said, the caller said, "Get dressed, go into the ring." So I got dressed, went into the ring. That's when I told the Iron Sheik. And then when I got back to the dressing room, the policeman came to talk to me. And I told him, I said, "He did it." And he said, "Will you come to the station tomorrow and fill out a report?" I said, "Yeah."
So did you?
Yes,
Yeah.
I sure did. But that night that Brody got stabbed, I stayed on the beach all night. I couldn't sleep. That saved my life. Then I was going back to the hotel the next morning, you know.
It's a traumatic thing.
Oh yeah, man, just a friend of mine, brother. You know, for no reason. I couldn't figure why. You know.
Not only that, but in the States, I would never imagine that happening, that the dressing room would just be sitting there lacing up their boots.
Yes, that's what they did. And that's the honor God truth. That's the honor God truth. And then when I
Is it
came
out of fear, do you think, or they just legitimately didn't care? Or were they
I
fearful?
don't know. I'm not a man reader, but I just know that it just shocked me that guys would treat this like, you know, Jose popped a pimple on his back or something. You know, that's what they looked at like. So the next morning, I can say about 7 in the morning or something, I went and got some breakfast, and then I started heading back to the hotel. And they stopped me in the lobby. They said, "Abdullah is having a meeting." I went to the meeting. After the meeting, I went to the police station, and Sika, Raymond Rome's father, went with me. He said, "I'll protect you, brother. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you." He said, "If I was in that dressing room, they would have never got to Brody." So Sika walked me to the police station and brought me back. Then I started getting tired, so I want to go upstairs and go to bed. So then I pushed the elevator, and Sabio Vega came down, was on the elevator. He said, "Brother, I got your bag." He said, "Get out of here. They looking for you." I said, "Looking for me for what?" He said, "You talking. They looking for you." He said, "Go to the airport." And back then, you didn't have to make reservations. You just go and pay in cash.
It wasn't like now.
It ain't like now. You could pay in cash. So I think my ticket was something like $100 some. So I bought me a plane ticket, and I flew home. When I got home that evening, my phone kept ringing, so I answered. Carlos Colon, "Hey brother, you deserted us." I said, "What do you mean you deserted us?" I said, "Y'all stab a guy to death right in front of me, and then you send people up to my room to mess with me." "Oh, there was nobody waiting on you." He said, "Who told you that?" I said, "No man who told me." I said, "But I know you had people waiting on me. They were gonna off me up in that room." Then the cops covered
There's
it up.
murders in Puerto Rico all the time, for people that don't know this. Crazy.
Yeah, and the cops never, the court, you can ask Dutch Mantel, both me and Dutch, we supposed to be there. They didn't say me, Dutch, or nobody, the information. I told them, I said, "Y'all don't even have to pay." I said, "I paid for my own ticket." You know, ticket was cheap back then. You know, a round trip was like $300 for a round trip ticket, and then out of New York, probably about $250 for a round trip ticket. I was gonna just fly in, do my stuff, go back to the airport, and fly back out. They never contact me. That's the only reason I didn't testify. Not because I was afraid or didn't want to. I wanted to testify. That's why I'm telling my story now. This is the only way I could testify. I'm doing my testimony now. Every time somebody asks about Brody, I testify. I couldn't testify that day for him, but I'm testifying for him now. And I think if the family, what they should do, they should do a wrongful death. Like they did OJ. They did it with OJ, but I don't do it with this guy. This guy shouldn't be walking around like this, the way he did it. Because that was just cold-blooded murder. He said, "Can I talk to you?" The guy turned around, he started stabbing him. There was no altercation, no nothing. The man wanted me to draw, he was sitting there, the only thing he was thinking about me getting a artwork done of his son. That's why he came to me. "Can you draw this picture of my boy?" That's what he wanted. A picture of his boy. That's it. None of this was on his mind.
And there was no internet at that time.
Nothing.
News
Nothing.
didn't travel well.
Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
They rode together the night before.
Yeah, Brody and Gonzalez rode to the show the night before.
The night before.
Yes. Yeah.
Jose's supposed to pick him up the next day.
And they weren't even wrestling each other around that
No.
time, were they? They're both baby faces.
Yes.
So it's not like Brody's
Nothing. There was nothing between them. Nothing.
Yeah.
They wanted his money. They wanted him out because Brody, knowing Brody. Brody started going to their meeting making suggestions. And they was afraid of him. They just wanted him to put money in the business, but not have anything to do with it. Yeah.
So no FBI or no one from the States ever contacted you. So as far as you know, it was never investigated outside of Puerto Rico.
No. Was all swept right in the rug.